Today, Nvidia is delaying things. AMD, I really think, wants to rule the world, and GPUs are about to get a huge performance jump. Welcome everyone to Gamer Meld. Before I get to the news, if you aren't subscribed to Gamer Meld yet, there's no reason to wait, because there's always awesome new hardware coming out, and there's no better place to get it than right here. Okay, it's news time, and first up for today, if you remember not too long ago, Nvidia was planning to release their next-gen RTX 5060 Ti this month. Well, it looks like that isn't gonna happen. As you can see right here, it says, remember the rumors that suggested a March launch for the RTX 5060 Ti? Well, it seems evident that these rumors are not true. Well, not necessarily not true, just that they've changed. Because even video cards, as you can see, it says we even covered a launch date that was communicated by Nvidia to board partners. So that was really apparently what was happening. It's just, like I said, it's changed. It says, but that date was later changed. And I believe that first it was changed to late March, early April. Well, it looks like it's now changed again. This story originally comes from the Board Channels forum, where you can see it says that members associated with various add-in board channel partners claim that, well, Nvidia is making a change to their 5060 series, at least when it comes to the release date. So let's actually go over this. You can see it says Nvidia has notified all AIC partners internally via email about the release time of the new RTX 5060 Ti/5060 series products, notifying all brands that the above two GPU series will be delayed. Specifically, Nvidia revealed that the release of the new GPUs will probably be delayed to mid-April. Well, this one first off is the 16GB and 8GB 5060 Ti, but then the regular RTX 5060 is set to be released in mid-May. At least that's what it sounds like Nvidia is hoping for, because I mean, you can see it says probably be delayed to this time. So it sounds like even Nvidia isn't 100% sure here, but regardless, it's definitely gonna be a little bit longer. So for anyone who is hoping to pick up one of Nvidia's mid-range GPUs, well, unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait a bit longer. With that said, for anyone hoping to purchase some of the new GPUs that are currently out right now, I will actually say that it's pretty wild. There was a recent story from Moore's Law is Dead who claimed that while, yes, Nvidia is shipping more GPUs, so definitely expect to see some of those soon, but AMD is, at least according to him, sending out, I believe it was something like 2 to 4 times the amount of GPUs that Nvidia has, or Nvidia is. I mean, we're talking restocking here, so these are new shipments. And if that's true, hopefully more and more will become available over time. And if you're interested in checking those out, I will have some affiliate links to those GPUs down in the description below. They don't cost you anything more, and it helps the channel out. And yes, you likely do want to come back to this video and just click those every morning, just in case they do drop more GPUs. And next up for today, AMD seriously wants to take over every market. I mean, they are not slowing down. You know how Qualcomm really wanted to shake up the market with their Snapdragon X Elite processor? Well, sales haven't exactly been all that great for Qualcomm's new chip, but obviously jumping into a new market can take time, and we all know how it's worked for Apple, so it definitely does work. Either way, AMD makes it clear that they plan to dominate in this segment as well, because if this is right, they're set to release their own ARM-based chip next year. It's called Soundwave, and according to Moore's Law is Dead, it's an APU on TSMC's 3nm node. And you can see it aims to target 5 to 10 watt form factors, so this isn't going to be some, massively performing APU, but because it's ARM, it probably performs a lot better than you would think in that 5 to 10 watt form factor. Either way, according to Moore's Law is Dead, this specs that he got on Soundwave specifically come from actual official documents, meaning it is likely correct. Either way, when it comes to specs, as you can see right down here, this APU comes with 2 P cores and 4 E cores, along with 4 megabytes of L3 cache. Now, this is obviously not all that impressive, but one very interesting part is the fact that it also comes with 4 RDNA 3.5 CUs. Now, 4 CUs isn't exactly great either, but the part that is the fact that If this is right, that means we are actually going to have within an ARM APU RDNA CUs, which also means that it comes with their drivers, meaning you likely won't have the same type of issues that you saw with Qualcomm. Now, don't get me wrong, there are obviously issues just from using the ARM with Windows, and any issues that come with that obviously wouldn't instantly be fixed here, but some of the issues that were obviously caused from these drivers would be fixed here. So that's definitely interesting. Plus, the interesting stuff doesn't stop there, because at least according to this, it also comes with 16 megabytes of what they're calling mall cache, which according to Moore's Law is dead is basically AMD's Infinity Cache, which means that these APUs likely really are made to game. But all in all, what this really points out is that AMD is seriously going for like every market. I mean, I don't know if they plan on taking over the world, if, are they going to go after Nvidia next? Obviously, they're a long ways off from that, but they are definitely competing in more and more markets. And lastly for today, this year's GDC conference is currently going on. GDC meaning the Game Developers Conference, and yeah, it's like a few days into it, but either way, it's happening. And Microsoft just announced something very interesting that's coming to their DirectX 12 Ultimate API, specifically DirectX Ray Tracing 1.2. Now, for those who may not know, DirectX Ray Tracing is basically ray tracing within games that use DirectX 12 Ultimate. So any games that currently use DirectX 12 and have ray tracing likely use DirectX ray tracing. And the reason why that's really important is because this update adds some wild stuff. Specifically, you can expect performance uplift of up to 2.3 times. And all of that, actually, it potentially could be more, because these are multiple technologies that are giving uplifts of 2.3 times. It's pretty wild, but the first one is called opacity micromaps. And basically what this is, it's used on geometry that is alpha tested, meaning it has an alpha layer to it, and that means how much kind of transparency it has to it. If you want to add transparency to an image, you have to add an alpha layer, and that is things like foliage, fences, hair, stuff like that. And as you can see, it says it improves how the alpha tested geometry processes by applying a texture with an alpha channel to a flat surface. It then removes pixels below a certain transparency threshold. Ultimately, what you need to know is that this drastically reduces the times that they need shader calls. So this can make a really big improvement to performance, specifically in path tracing. And you can see right here in the best case scenario, Microsoft claims an improvement of 2.3 times. So we're not even talking 20-30% improvements here. We're talking up to 2.3 times. And I actually kind of looked this up within, a path trace game. But don't forget, once again, this only affects alpha tested geometry, foliage, fences, hair, just stuff like that has transparency. Like, for example, they give this right here, while Stalker 2 has loads of grass, leaves, and fences in practically all scenes, so that one would likely get a really big boost in performance. Cyberpunk 2077 barely has any foliage, so it may not get as much of an improvement there. But that is where this second technology comes in, called shader execution reordering, which, as it states, seems to be a more universal feature because it reorders how shaders are executed to avoid shader divergence. And basically what shader divergence is, so GPUs really like to run things in parallel. I mean, that's really what makes a GPU, just tons of parallel tasks. That's why you have all these cores. They're kind of like base. Anyway, GPUs really want to run things in parallel. Specifically, you want to run these shaders in parallel, but you want to do it with like similar instructions to one another. And when that doesn't happen, it causes bottlenecks, causes slowdowns, and that is called shader divergence. But this effectively lowers the amount of times that happens. And according to Microsoft, you can see right down here, it speeds up rendering by up to 2 times. So once again, we're talking a 2 times performance increase right here as well, meaning when this does get implemented into games, which unfortunately it does have to be added to the game, so it's not like it's going to instantly change everything, and it only is in those games that use DirectX 12 Ultimate and use ray tracing, but When that does happen, we could see some very serious performance boosts. Now, unfortunately, there is some bad news because not all GPUs actually support this tech. For starters, you can see Nvidia GPUs going all the way back to Turing support opacity micromaps, so those graphics cards, when it's added to the game, should see a decent boost in performance. But the shader execution reordering only started being supported with Nvidia's RTX 40 series cards. So yeah, that's not good there. And then when it comes to AMD, apparently in all RDNA 4 iterations, including RDNA 4, according to this, it doesn't support either of these. Though, with that said, Microsoft has said that the company is working with it on the widespread adoption of these technologies, and it says AMD has certain scheduling optimizations that may mimic how SER works. So if they do end up adding that specifically to optimize it for Radeon GPUs, you could see speed improvements there. Then Qualcomm does not support OMM or SER, but is apparently working on it for its next generation integrated GPUs. Oh, and when it comes to Arc and Battlemage, things really just kind of seem unclear as far as that when it comes to SER, but unfortunately, according to Intel, they said that their next generation Celestial will support OMM, so it seems like none of their cards right now do support it. So yeah, definitely some exciting stuff coming out, especially it seems like for Nvidia GPUs, but we may see some increases in performance within AMD GPUs as well. Either way, this is still really exciting just for anyone. I mean, just think about it. If you can, do an update on your game and all of a sudden you're getting a massive performance increase, that's definitely pretty awesome. So while that does it for today, what do you think about this new update, and what about AMD going into ARM-based CPUs? Let me know down in the comments below. And definitely make sure to check out those affiliate links down in the description below for when new GPU stock does drop. And as always, have a great day.